Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Benny Black, your favorite neighborhood photographer, graphic designer, director of photography at Jeff Phoenix Films. All right, so I'm proud to announce my first LUT pack, cinematic LUT pack for photographers and graphic designers, but can still be used for videographers, cinematographers, right? So what I wanted to do was kind of put a little more emphasis on why it would be cool for you to want to purchase this and support, because I kind of put a little more detail into how I made the LUTs, and mind you, that's something I'll get into later on, but this video is going to be more so about really utilizing the LUTs inside of Photoshop, and then the next video will be on Lightroom. So let's kind of get into it, and we're going to switch over to my screen for Photoshop. Okay, so here we are, we're in Photoshop, and right now, as you can see, Kirsten, shout out to Kirsten, I'll have her social media at the bottom of this. And what I'm going to try to do is kind of implement and show how to do the LUT, which I've actually added into the pack, which is a shorter video. But with this video, I'm going to go through it and then add one of the LUTs in. All right, so basically what we're going to do is we're going to go over to, upload your file, things of the nature. I already have one in, but of course, if you're new to Photoshop and you're kind of using the LUTs, you're going to go File, open, and you would import your image or import your file that you want this to be over top of. Once you've done that, what I want you to do is kind of go up to Windows. When you're in Windows, you'll see that you have a multitude of different things you can apply to the outside of your workstation. So my workstation is customized, as you can see. So right here, what you want to do is make sure adjustments is turned on. Adjustments is really cool because it gives you a lot of different layer capabilities for things you want to do to the image without being destructive to the image itself. Now mind you, this is a raw photo. This is directly out of camera. No color grading, nothing has been done to this image. This is straight out of camera, raw specifically. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to the adjustments. So on my screen, adjustments is to the bottom right. This can go anywhere depending on where you turn the window on, and you can adjust it to where it's in your taste of workflow. So what we're going to do is we're going to import one of the first LUTs, and we're going to click on color lookup. So we're going to click on color lookup, which is actually right here on this adjustments. We're going to click that. Now, as you can see over here in the properties area, the color lookup table information is here, which is cool. So now what we're going to do is right here where it says load 3D LUT. So now we're going to click on that arrow, and we're going to go load 3D LUT. Now mind you, that there's a few that's already built into this, but we're not going to use those. We're going to go load 3D LUT. If you've purchased my pack or if you have any others, this video does still apply depending on how the LUTs were made. So the lookup tables, depending on how they were made, you may be able to use those with my method. But once again, this is more so to kind of give you a breakdown of why you would potentially want to use my LUT pack for your projects. So we're here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on my desktop. So my desktop has the folder. I already have it open for my website. So you see the instructions videos as well as the Everwarmth LUTs. Let's click on Everwarmth LUTs. We're going to go to Photoshop versions. Now you'll see it's blank. Once again, in the instruction video, it talks about why that is. So what we're going to do is we're going to come down here where it says cube file. We click cube file, and we're going to go to 3DL, which is 3D LUT. So now that we have that, all of them are visible. So we have the almond skin dark greens, we have the dark mint overcast, we have the faded mint, we also have the soft browns muted greens. We're going to go with faded mint right now. So I'm going to click on that and then click load. And then what you'll see is it did 100% harshness over the image with the LUT that I created. But as you can see right here, it says color lookup 1 right here as a layer over top of your image, and then up here it says exactly which 3D LUT you're using. Now at this point, what you would do is, for the way that I set it up, is you can now redirect how powerful this is. So we don't want it at 100%. I'm gonna bring it down. Let's start at 30%. All right, so all right, 30%. Boom. And then we'll slowly bring it up to 40%, 50, 62. So I like 62 because it really does give that effect of that that very nice minty feel for the faded in the greens as well as the skin tones. So I'm just going to press enter to make sure it locks that in and it doesn't change it on me. Now you say to yourself, okay, well now that it's done, well, how can I really get the pop that I want? Well, that's the thing about the LUTs. It's really the basis of how another person kind of uses them, and now you're going to be able to put these in your own style. So one thing I love to do is I have another video coming for channels. So what I love to do with the channels is I love to create adjustment layers off of the channels. So I actually want a little bit more of the whites to pop. So from the RGB channel, I'm going to click on the blues. So I'm going to press Control and I'll click on the blue channel, right? As you can see, what it does is with the walking ants, it is covering all of the areas that have any kind of whites and blues in them. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down to the area for adjustments and create a new adjustment area with those ants, and I want to play with levels. So let's just mess with levels just for now, just see what it looks like. So now when I mess with the levels, I'm going to start with the mid and see what it does. Okay, I love that. Then I'm going to bring down the darks and bring up the lights a little in the levels. Not too harsh because I really don't want to mess with it. And mind you, I haven't done anything else to the image. There's no edits, retouch, or color grade specific to the image. I'm only messing with the LUT and then a layer that I've created over top of it with the blue channel to create this pop on the image. So just for the purpose of this video, I'm going to press Control and select both the top layers, press Control G on the PC, which then groups it. I believe it's Command G on the Mac, but in this case for the PC. So now I'm going to turn this off. The original image, the overlay, the original image, the overlay. And the cool thing is you can play with that. So I love where the levels are here. As you can see, we just did a very subtle pop on that. Then if I want to turn down the lookup table for the LUT, turn it down just a little bit, and here we are. And then from there you can keep playing with it. So you know what, maybe I want to play a little more with the greens. I'm going to personally click on and press Control and select the greens. As you can see, it's selected those. Maybe I will want a little bit more punch in the greens. I'm going to do another adjustment layer because I've already selected the ants for the areas under the greens, and this time I'm going to use curves. So under the curves, watch what happens here, right? So anything that has the greens in them, we're giving off those certain tones, I can play with in the image, like so. And I kind of play with and have a little bit more pop into the white. Here we are. Now mind you, for your image, it's going to come out different. It's not going to come out the same, right? Even with me, I'm going to push the darks up on that, and actually kind of like how that looks as well. So before and after with the LUT that has been applied to it. Once again, before, after. Then we'll zoom in just to show that it doesn't muddy the image. It doesn't muddy the image at all. So you can see in the detail and the colors, nothing has been damaged. That's another thing I like too, because there's certain ones that people have made and they, you overlay it over your image and then it muddies it, and we don't want to muddy your image with this. But this is just to give you an overview idea of what one of my LUTs can do, and then real quick we'll do another one. And the cool thing is, if you want to keep everything you've already created, you can. What I'm going to be able to do is just click on the color lookup, and you can rename this if you want to make it much easier, but color lookup 1. Now I'm going to go right back up here to 3D LUT file, like so. Then I'm going to click once again above where the string folder is. I'm going to click load another LUT. Once again, we have to change it from cube to 3DL. Change it to 3DL, they pop right up. So we actually used the faded mint previously. So now we're going to go into the dark mint overcast. Hit load. And as you can see, it actually went into the adjustments I've already created because the opacity was already there at 45%. My other layers are already there within the group. And once again, we'll go off and on. So it actually looks pretty good there. I actually like the way it looks for that set. Now just for, of course, experimental purposes, we'll turn it up just a little bit. So turn it up more. There we go. Now that's that overcast. That is really, really cool. Off, on. So as you can see, my LUTs really play into the dimensions of the highlights, the shadows, the dynamic range. It also plays into skin tones well, and then once again you can really play around those and kind of move around in the image and kind of make a few adjustments as well. But I do like the way that this looks in the detail, in the face, in the skin tone. So, you know, once again, no retouch was done to the image, nothing was done. This was literally the raw image. Let's go back into the raw image and how it was shot, and then with my LUT over top of it for that specific look. So if you found this very useful, I would love for you to go and purchase the LUT from my website, which is bniblk.com. And you can go right to the digital store and purchase it. If you have any questions, please leave them below. But I hope you will subscribe, because I want to keep giving some really good content like this. And I'm looking to do some online courses and live classes and things of the nature soon. But this is what I want to kind of contribute out there. And the cool thing about my LUT pack too is you get the Photoshop and the Lightroom version in one pack for $15. I'm not trying to overcharge people. I know there's a few companies out there I won't mention that will make you pay for each individual setup for each platform you use. I personally don't think that's fair, so I think $15 is more than enough to kind of share my thought process on how I really like to, you know, go about this. But hopefully you found this to be enlightening for what you may want to use this for, and I hope to see some of your work that you do with it as well. Share it in the comments below. All right, have a great one.